Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Nexuscast. I am the host, Flarp, and I have my co-host with me today, Motobug,
That's me.
and some pretty neato guests this time. Talk about some old school PM. There's Emukiller
Hello.
and Coney.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Guess if you want to introduce yourselves a little bit.
Sure. Emu, you first.
All right, thanks. My name's Emukiller, also Michael Solbernagle. I've been playing Melee since 2006, been playing Product M since 2.6, and I'm still active today.
And I'm Coney. Name is Zach Zeeks. I've been playing Smash since Brawl in 2011. Started playing PM, I think whatever was before 3.02. It might have been 3.02. I think I only lived through one patch. But I started playing PM in late 2013 and stopped playing around, I don't know, late 20 when the thing happened, which we'll talk about in a bit. So yeah,
The Thing. Very ominous.
yeah, right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Good job, Flarp.
I'm not very good at this. So I don't know. I guess we'll just go right into it. I wasn't there for 3.02.
Yeah, you're the only one
so I'm
that
a
didn't
nerd.
play. I played
jumped
back
in
then.
right at the end, and I didn't even know what was happening.
It was fun.
It was fun.
I missed Luigi Fireball doing like 9 damage.
You got that for like 2 weeks, and then you're like, oh
Yeah.
okay,
Then 3.5.
fine.
I didn't even know Luigi was different, to be honest. I thought he just does the same stuff that he always does in
It's
every
like
game.
basically the same.
Didn't he have like a better tornado before like
Well,
3.6 or something?
Grabbing the ledge, refresh the tornado.
Ah,
3.02.
that's kind of nuts.
And there was less recovery frames at the end of it, so you could do very aggressive tornadoes and then do a little bit of a rise at the end into an N-air. And it was really strong. Like, it's just a really viable
So
option.
good.
I think I remember that. I think I remember like a weird Nair. I saw Sago doing it, and I was like, "How is he doing that?" Like it was like you could come at a NATO with Nair. I was like, "That's weird."
A NATO cancel? God. What if
That
that
looked
was a
neat.
thing?
Yeah, a lot of 3.02 was, if you don't know the move, just assume it's safe on block. Like,
Just
do
to
not,
move it,
do not shield
just
grab.
assume it's broken.
Yeah, do not shield grab in 3.02.
And if the move belongs to one of what was it, the 6 characters? I think there was like a sinister 6 situation going on. Just don't try to do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Huh.
Just accept it. Just die.
yeah.
That's interesting, 'cause I'm wondering if your 6 is the same as mine. We'll see.
There were like there was, it might be 4, but I remember there was like it was going around like it was a well established thing that there were 6 characters that were just like, it was like Mewtwo, Pit, Lucas, Diddy,
Yeah.
and there might be 2 more. It might just be those 4.
And then like the slightly lower characters of like Sonic and who else was it?
Mario was very good.
Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snake.
yeah,
Sonic.
Link was up a while. Like he was really high on the last year list for 3.02.
Hmm.
And then he just fell after that. He was done.
yeah,
Yeah, Link was this like meta character almost where some characters that were floaty had incredibly strong options but bad mobility, and Link had incredibly good zoning tools. So you ended up with a lot of players who were just really comfortable throwing shit at you for 8 minutes,
yeah.
and they would main Link, and then you
Yeah.
do that. That was your life.
And now Tink has kind of filled that role, but to a lesser extent.
Yeah, much lesser. Yeah, even
I feel like Link was kind of a noob slayer too, because like if you get hit by that laid up B at the ledge, like you're dead at 40.
Yeah.
like
I
there's
mean,
no
that still
coming back
happens.
from
That
that.
still happens to me.
Yeah. I just don't challenge it. I'm like, all right, just wait for the whole animation and then get up.
I mean, now in this amazing Project M 3.6 meta, I just invincible ledge dash grab. Big brain play.
Wait, so there's an invincible ledge dash?
for
Oh,
several
yeah.
characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Because
Yeah.
because I was playing on Netplay, they were like, Coney, why don't you ledge dash? I was like, well, I don't feel like I have to.
That might have been me. I might have
Oh,
said
okay. It might have been you then. I was like, is that like a big deal? Like, I
Ledge
mean, I
dashing
know
is
it's an
very
option, but
that. Flarp
I
can
just-
tell you all about ledge dashing.
Oh boy, can I?
yeah.
Go on youtube.com/FlarpSSB. There's a whole video there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I'll ask this. How did you find out about Project M in the first place?
Me first or Coney?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll do it.
Coney.
So, I found out about Project M because I'm kind of close to the scene. I had my finger on the pulse during that time, I was living with the VGBC guys, so it was me, Gimmer, and Apostle living in my mom's old place at that time. So I got to see everything happen in real time, and be a part of all the conversations when it was starting to come up. And we were all like, hey, we should start doing this at Xanadu. This should happen, blah, blah, blah. And so I got to see it from that perspective. Like, I played it for the first time years and years before that, before it was in that state, at, like, one of Tantalis's, like, house tournaments. And I just kind of wrote off. I was like, all right, this isn't for me, because I'm not a Melee player, and I never have been. So I was like, it's not really for me. It's fine, whatever. But then, as more and more Brawl players in my region started to get into it, like Junebug, Seagull, Pink Fresh, I was like, oh, maybe I can have some fun with this. And then I eventually found a character that I really liked, and that was it. So I got to see it basically from its infancy, which was great.
Yeah, for me, or I don't know. I'll just say it. For me, it was college, so I'd say like 2011 or 2010. There was the really early beta that was maybe 10 or 12 characters. Like Sonic was in there and the Melee top tiers.
Yeah, like PM 1.0.
Okay.
So they took down the trailer for it, actually.
Oh,
I have
okay.
never seen it. It might be somewhere, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, so the first public release, I'll say. It was something that I was focused on Melee, but I tried it out. And sort of all I did was, like, my friend wanted to play as Sonic, and I chain throwed him with Sheik, and I was like, okay, this game's bad, because Sheik's still going to chain throw the entire cast. So I kind of ignored it until, I think it was 2.6. It might have been 2.0, actually. 2.0 Lucario came out, and I thought he was sick. So I put a little time into Lucario, and then I believe some aspects of him got nerfed in 2.6. And then I still played around with it just because I had some friends who learned Melee but were not very good, and because of the skill gap and us being friends, we would still just play PM, where it was a much closer fight. So my first PM tournament was 2.6, which was really cool because a lot of Brawl players from New Jersey entered it. So Salem was there, Nairo played around in it, I played Atomisk, Anti was there. So just a lot of the very good New York, New Jersey Brawl players came to a New Jersey event to play PM. So it was a really, really fun tournament. And then I didn't really get serious about tournaments until sort of 3 or 4 months into 3.0.
All right, I guess I'll also say how I got into it. It was Video Game Club at high school, 2014.
Spicy.
Okay.
I walked in, and there's like the Smash nerds in the corner just talking about whatever, and they brought in PM that day, which I think I had heard of, but I didn't really know exactly what it was besides that it was like Melee. And then I came over to try and play it on the laggy ass flat screen before.
The classic.
And they're like, "Oh, sure, you can try." And then I think I knew how to do a really horrible wave dash at that point, and
Nice.
I did it. And they were like,
Oh no, he's learning.
"Oh my god,
He's
he
a
knows,
professional."
he knows." So at that point they were like, "We gotta play with this guy forever now, since he's the only one in here who's not like never hold a GameCube controller before."
That's
That
it,
other
really.
player, Albert Einstein. That was him.
Everybody gave him $100 and clap.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Everyone
really
clap.
interesting that you say that, because like that's always been one of my questions about Project M. Is I always wondered what is the install base for the casual players? You know what I mean? Because like it was a genuine phenomenon. Like a lot of casual people knew about it and played it, but I always wondered what the overlap was. Like of all the people that knew about Brawl and knew about Smash, like what percentage knew about PM? Because it got pretty big. You know, I don't know if that's just it felt that way because we're in our own little Smash bubble, but it seemed like it had a lot of outside influence. I don't know.
I would say around like the 3.02 era, especially, VODs would like just get into people's recommended if they were like
Oh yeah,
casual Brawl players. That's what happened to me actually. I was looking at Sonic Brawl VODs because I was a Brawl player back in like as far back as like 8 and age 8 and also 2008. And one day I just saw 2.1 Withrobe versus Hungrybox or something in my recommended. And I was like, whoa, what is this amazing new game? He's spinning on him and going fast. And then at like the end of... At that point, it was like the end of 2.6, I want to say. Somewhere around that time. I downloaded it and started playing Sonic, and I haven't stopped since for 4 or 5 consecutive years.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good casual fan base. You have to imagine, even before Project M, there were a lot of people that were interested in custom skins, custom music, or new characters.
Yeah, that's true. Brawl modding
yeah.
was huge.
Yeah.
I remember doing that stuff.
Yeah, so I would say, even at my college where there was, that Friday game club night thing, that was just a bunch of people who were bad. You still had, like, the best player there was someone that could do the auto-cancel down air in Brawl with Ganondorf. So you still had people that modded their setups. Like, modding your Wiis was common even outside of the Smash community. So, yeah, I know a lot of people that played it casually, and I guess I'm still surprised to know how many people have downloaded it and tried it out.
Yeah.
Still seeing some new faces every now and then.
Yeah, I
Massachusetts.
mean, like
It's pretty
Nexus
cool.
is bringing in some
Whoa.
trademark. Shameless plug to our own channel.
Oh, what do we? I don't even know what we're doing. Anyway.
Me either.
So, what was 3.02 like exactly? Like, I don't know if that's a good question. Like, if I
It's
word
very
that
general.
right.
Yeah, well, like I said, the way that I perceived it and the way that it was kind of the dominant thing is like there are these really, really good characters, but not. I don't know how to describe it. They were oppressive, but not to such a degree that like you see in other like.
Yeah,
it
they
still
weren't
felt
like
more
Brawl
balanced.
Meta Knight. It wasn't like
I mean, they could have been close. Like Mewtwo was silly.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say they were Brawl Meta Knight. I think it might have gotten to that point had the game like gone on for several years,
developed.
like
Meta
Brawl did.
developed, yeah.
But because it was pretty early on, it never felt like they were totally insurmountable. The only exception I think might have been top level Pit, which just felt totally, I don't know. But overall, it felt super balanced. You had a few like meme characters like Olimar, who like some people could win with, but really when they did it, it was very clearly like they were just better than you. But
That's still the case.
yeah, well, yeah. Oh, quick story. When I was at a Smash 4 boot camp out in Vegas, they had this like Smash Fest after a thing, like a party with all the Smashers getting together. And this guy that played Olimar came over. He's like, "Hey, you guys know money matches?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll money match. Who do you play?" He's like, "Does it matter?" So I'm like, "Okay, this guy's trying to hustle me. He plays Fox or something." And he picks Olimar. I'm like, "Oh God, what does Olimar do? I'm about to get destroyed." And it was like a 3-game 3-stock. Like it was free money, and I shook his hand, and I was like, "Olimar is pretty bad, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's still the worst in the game." I was like, "Ah."
Wait, this was Smash 4?
No, it was in PM.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
And Olimar's up B, like, I didn't know what it did, so I was like, "Oh God, don't challenge that." Then I found out it does
Then you
nothing
found
at all.
It's garbage. It's awful.
Like,
It's
at
so
first
bad.
I was like, "What the hell is that? He could kill me with that." And then I started like, "Oh wait, I can just back air this."
What if his jetpack just like exploded at the end? It was just like a huge explosion, like
Yeah, like
Battle
Diddy
Smash.
Kong.
Like,
Yeah,
Like 3.0 Diddy Kong.
Over.
Exactly. I had PTSD from like knocking Diddy out of his barrels and losing trades off it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
oh yeah, that must have been awful. Living in the same region as Jubug and Seagull.
Oh, and boss,
It's
you're,
over.
you're fucking telling me,
yeah,
dude.
boss.
I would knock them out of barrels 4 times. They would take like 36, and I would take 81. And I'm like, why is this allowed? Like, why did you win? All you did was hit one button. It was annoying.
Balanced.
Yeah, weirdly, there's like no titties around anymore. Besides
There's
like
a couple.
Junebug, maybe. and Luck.
Arrow.
From Texas.
Arrow's kind
Well, like
of
not
retired,
super top
semi-retired.
level.
And
Like,
like Bacon kind of dropped him a little bit. Envy messed around with him and dropped him. I think the issue is combo games getting very good in 3.6, where a lot of the PM rank is just very good at comboing like Spaceys and Diddycon. Like Diddycon kind of falls into that weight category where it's just really easy to combo. So it really is just like painful to play a character that gets 0 to death. And Diddy doesn't really have the tools that like Fox does with Shine to stay safe on block. He still says safe, but it's trickier, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he has to like use his items to his advantage, but once those stop working, it's over.
Yeah, for
He
me,
doesn't have the double banana anymore.
Oh god, that was an
That's one thing
adventure.
I'm glad I missed.
I don't think I ever played a Diddy in 3.0, so I'm glad.
It
I
sucked.
didn't want to deal with that.
It would just hit the it was just normals, the character. It's just a lot of fucking they put out one banana and then just hit the green button as much as they could. And it was strong.
Yeah, but then I feel like Diddy definitely lost to like Mario, Link, lots of characters that could keep him out or like force him to approach.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess 3.0, I totally forget what the original question was. I think it was like, what is like 3.0 to you? 3.02 to you? Or like, what did 3.02 mean?
Yeah. I don't
know. It was definitely a game where it was a lot less about tech skill. Just, coming from like a melee background where you have to grind out your punish games so heavily. PM 3.02, you could really make mistakes and it didn't matter. Like your tech skill just did not matter. It was much more about like just placing your aerials correctly with zoning, good decision making, a little bit of like knowledge of frame data to like create frame traps. But yeah, it was not about the lab. It was not about the lab in the sense of like you need to have this perfect tech skill in order to play the game, which I think, even Brawl has that with ICs or with a lot of high level stuff. So it was the least technical Smash game. Yeah.
I think that's what made it super inviting, at least in my region, for a lot of Brawl players too. Is because like I can definitely attest to the fact that I am not a tech skill player. I'm very much like least amount of buttons with the most amount of reward, basically. And I was able to do pretty well. A lot of our Brawl players that like Junebug was not a particularly technical player, but PM like brought him into that, and now he he's a melee player. He hits a lot more buttons, and like Seagull was the same thing. It's like we were kind of the dominant Brawl players when PM released, and we all switched over to that. And whereas we didn't really like melee because it was very much a lab game, we got deep into PM. So I can definitely attest to what Emu was saying there. That was what made it super appealing to us, I think.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking to myself, like, if people see Junebug today, they see like, pretty technical Diddy play and they see like a very good melee Sheik. But 10 years ago, Junebug was rolling an F smash. I'm not like, let's not sugarcoat it. Yep. 2008, little Junebug was rolling an F smash.
He was disgusting.
Beat Mewtwo King. And that's it. It was, hey, look, this random Lucario beat Mewtwo King, and then he kind of got better from there.
Yep. He was beating Chew with Donkey Kong. I was like, how did this child do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
So in like talking about like how there isn't much of a tech skill barrier, I would say that's still there a little bit in 3.6 with how it's less technical than Melee, obviously. But I think with the stagnation of every character, everyone has had like 2 years to make technical discoveries with their own characters. So I think each character is getting a little more technical as 3.6 goes on. So that might be.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some obvious characters that are getting like really, really technical,
like Sonic.
Like Sonic, haha. But I think it's not about Melee. I don't think PM is less technical. I think it's just more lenient in a lot of areas. Like dashback isn't completely broken, and that one frame buffer kind of thing. So it's a little bit more lenient, but depending on what character you play, it can be just as technical or more technical.
Yeah, I think we even just saw a tool-assisted video released either yesterday or 2 days ago that Sosa tweeted out how we are really not pushing something like Footstool to the limit yet. Like, we're not even close. Yeah. So there's a lot of techniques and options in Pratidem that are difficult to use that very few players are utilizing as best as they could.
So, 3.02. So both you, Emu's still around today, and Coney went to Project M Showdown last week, I think.
This
Last
past
Saturday.
weekend, yeah.
Mhm.
How does it feel going from a 3.02 tournament to one right now?
Do you mean in terms of the game or like the general vibe?
The general vibe, I guess.
I mean, honestly, the scene has changed dramatically since since I started playing PM. Actually, my first like big PM tournament, not that I played in, but that I went to, was the one that Emukiller terrorized, which was one of the Skatars.
Skatars, yeah.
Yeah, so that tournament, I was starting to play Project M a little bit, and all my friends, the Brawl players, started playing it. So I go to that tournament, and like, there's this huge scene. I was like, oh, this is awesome, and that's where I really got into it. But yeah, that was this little fun fact. But the scene is like, I don't want to say it's unrecognizable, and maybe it's just because I'm talking from a Smash 4 perspective, but the amount of growth that we've seen since 2014, and when PM was sort of sunsetting into what eventually, I don't want to say that it went into Smash 4, but for a lot of people they just moved on from PM to Smash 4. The scene is almost unrecognizable in terms of like back then.
Base.
Yeah. I mean, like back then it was just old brawl heads picking up PM, some melee players, playing it for a bit. It was kind of like a merging of the communities, which was really awesome. Like I said, from an MDVA perspective, because like we were super separate. Like Chillin, Chew, Plank, Hat, they played melee, and Seagull, June, Pink Fresh, they played brawl. But like seeing everybody together in one game was super awesome. Now it's like, like Emu said, it's just like it feels almost unrecognizable in terms of the player base now. I imagine that everybody's got to be way more skilled now, but it's just a lot of new people. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of new blood compared to like 2 or 3 years ago, even.
Yeah.
And it just we're the children of the past PM players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my thoughts echo Coney's. I have a lot of friends in both the Brawl and the Melee communities, at least going back to like 2010, 2012. So, Product M is something that both communities got interested in. So, in New Jersey, I kind of hanged out with a lot of the Juice Gaming kids, who they all went on to either their own esports endeavors or Smash 4. And in Melee, a lot of Melee players obviously stuck with Melee because of its incredible growth since getting into Evo. So back in 3.02, Brawl was kind of, I guess to use Coney's word, sunsetting. People were losing interest in Brawl tournaments unless there was a big headliner like someone traveling to attend it. So a lot of Brawl players and Brawl TOs would get involved in PM. So you could go to a tournament that a Brawl TO would host Product M. And that was a lot of fun because I would get to interact with my Brawl friends who were still active with the tournament scene. And a lot of Melee TOs would get invested into hosting Product M because of the same reason. It's just more to get more people to come to the tournament. And for some players, they saw it as free money. So I think the fact that all three communities, Product M, Melee, and Brawl, you could host it all on the same hacked Wii and CRT. It made it really easy for TOs to invite the other communities to their events. And now in 3.6, Melee has grown to the point that it really doesn't need to host a PM side event. It still could, but at least in New Jersey, we have Conti, who hosts both Melee and PM, and Chibo sometimes hosts Melee and PM. But that's about it. That's really the only time that you can go to a tournament that will have both Melee and PM on the same day. And the Smash 4 community, there's just no overlap at all because the setups are different, the TVs are different, so there's no easy way for a Smash 4 TO to host Product M. So it's kind of sad, but I really haven't seen my Brawl friends in a very long time. Like, it would have to be CEO, that was 2 summers ago, that would have been 2016 CEO, or like 2015 I went to Evo, and that's really the only times that I've met like my Brawl friends since PM has sort of faded back into grassroots. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little just different, yeah. Who you end up hanging out with outside of the bracket.
Yeah.
Talking about like different communities coming together, like Brawl and Melee. Something interesting I saw with the NDA going up from Icons was I saw a little bit of that with a lot of old PM players I knew were streaming it and going against Melee players online. I saw. I don't know if anyone remembers this guy except me, but like this Nest player named Colors was just paired up against TK Breezy online. And that was just like for someone who never got to see that in 3.02, it's just really interesting to see again. So maybe Icons can help. Well, if Icons is like a PM replacement or anything like that.
I'm really hoping.
I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna replace PM.
I hope it doesn't, because they seem pretty different to me.
Yeah, I think it'll be something that PM players play on like the side, or as like like 2 games that they play. But I don't think that it's gonna completely replace PM.
I sincerely am hoping that it becomes that kind of thing, because like I feel like the first person that cracks that nut of like, let me create something that can bring in Melee heads and Brawl heads and Smash 4 people, like the first person that does that, if it's even possible, is gonna be a millionaire. Like that. Like if you can get that on PC free to play, like you're gonna be rich, like if somebody can figure that out. But even then, like, is that possible? I don't know if anybody at this point would ever go away from Melee, because it's just like a culture in and of itself.
There is that one game that I hear is pretty popular. It's called Project M.
I've never heard of that.
That's definitely done that in the past.
Yeah, sounds pretty janky to me.
Yeah, for me, I almost feel like Icons is this gamble of, does Smash 5 suck? Like,
yeah, that's true. That's a big factor.
Like,
a lot of things.
I'm really hoping that Smash 5's trailer at E3 is like showing the Inkling moveset, introduce a new character, show their moveset, give us whatever score is going to be played for the title theme trailer, and then like some crazy awesome reveal at the end where we just have like 5 seconds of silence and then a Mario wave dash or something, and everyone loses their shit. Like, that'd be like the dream for me.
Yeah.
But so like if Smash 5 is this game that actually recognizes the popularity of Melee as an esport and decides to bring that in and make an official modern Nintendo game that supports the Melee community, then I think Icons is gonna be a dumpster fire. But if Smash 5 only caters to Smash 4 players, and we see it be this sort of like recycled Smash 4, which is recycled Brawl, then I think Icons will take off. Yeah.
That's that's an interesting point, yeah.
I think a Smash 5 like Melee special mode would be a great idea. Like, that's something I've had in my head for a while. Just like turn it on in special Smash or whatever they call it, and just play Melee, like, you know?
I don't know, because I feel like if you do that, it's not going to win over the Melee people, and it's the Smash 4 people are going to be like, why, this isn't the base game, I'm not going to play this.
Yeah.
Even when Smash 4 first came out, I think it was like Max Ketchum brought up one of the custom items in Smash 4, right, is the like L cancel equipment. It's like, hey, this could be a really great function, but luckily, like, release Smash 4 had amazing up throw to up air combos, so you really didn't need the equipment.
The spectacle of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was so majestic.
Pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, even that was something that was brought up and ultimately rejected because it is this little extra barrier when let's just play the base game. Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting point about like what Smash 5 will eventually be, because like you're right, if Smash is just like, nah, we're going all in on this competitive stuff, then Icons might just have to pivot Or otherwise, it's gonna be a lame duck if it comes out and it's just like, oh, we're this, but without Mario. They would have to pivot to something that I don't know what they could do. Maybe they could try to be, I don't know, I'm just speculating. Maybe they could try to be like the pure Melee experience, because obviously Nintendo will like, because like I full disclosure, I don't think they're ever getting rid of the ledge system that's in Smash 4. I've kind of lamented about this on Twitter. I hate the ledge system in Smash 4.
I had no idea you hated it.
Oh, I hate it. I don't like competing in Smash 4. I don't like playing Smash 4. I commentate it, but I don't like playing it.
It's Larry's favorite ledge system.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I just it's bred this new breed of players that are like, I don't like, and I saw this in the Icon subreddit. They're saying something like, I don't like the way ledge hogging works because it's not hype and it's, there's no skill and blah blah blah. Like I think there's this new generation of players that didn't grow up with that ledge system that will not accept anything but Smash 4. So like, I think even if Smash 5 does go that route, it's gonna have some level of change that Icons will be able to.
It's not gonna be like a Melee 1-to-1. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, even Icons isn't like Melee 1-to-1 because there's no L canceling, there's no shield dropping.
Right. Yeah.
And a different ledge system than Melee still, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't like it. It's something where I think it's better than Brawl or Melee's ledge system.
I dislike it because it incentivizes players to... So I'm big about offstage, like edgeguard play. In Smash 4, recoveries are kind of flowcharted, where most characters will just go low, and it's very hard to stop them. Like, even if they have
to do like the 2-frame, and that's about it. Like, that's your option.
So the game becomes more, instead of edge guarding, it's ledge trapping. So you're on the ledge, you get put into, some Oki, you gotta pick one of a few options, and the opponent is... Like, if you're guarding, you're better suited to sitting on the stage and shoving them back off, rather than edge guarding, burning the jump, grabbing the ledge, if that makes sense. And just my preference, I like the second one more. I'm very much like an aerial, offstage based player, so I like it more. I can understand why people would like the current ledge system more, but yeah, I hate it. That's just me.
I agree with that. I like stylish offstage edge guards because they look cool.
Yeah.
Fun.
I don't think it's the perfect system, but then I look back at Brawl, which we had to play with a ledge grab limit, or Melee, where Melee it's like, oh, I was forced to the corner and I'm Fox. Let me intentionally get on the ledge so that I have my 12 or 10 whatever frames of invincibility to get back and just run at you and shine and whatever bullshit. Like,
yeah,
it just feels like you're not punished enough for being near the ledge in Melee or Brawl.
I mean, that's something about 3.02 that we can get into as well. The ledge grab problem that emerged near the end that influenced PM's direction from then on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chudat for camping out Junebug for 8 minutes.
That was disgusting.
Were you on commentary that set? I think you were.
I was just watching it. I was there watching it happen. I mean, I might have been on commentary during it actually, because I know he's done it multiple times, so I might have been on that set. Chu is he's that guy, man. He'll do that.
Yeah.
I remember when the PM implemented the ledge grab limit thing, like 5 ledge grabs and then your invincibility is gone. Which I like it personally.
Yeah, I think it was a good design decision. It doesn't like kill the ledge, but it also doesn't make it overpowered and easily campable. So, good decision, PMDT.
I felt like 5 was. I felt like 5 was too many. Like I don't know. I think that I like the idea of their losing invincibility, but I feel like I don't know. I would have liked 3, because then it's like this mix of, okay, this guy, I'm on the ledge, I gotta get back on. I've burned 2. You know what I mean? Like with 5, I feel like you can just keep hopping and your opponent can't feasibly be ready for everything. But with 3, I think you can better... I don't know. I feel like you could put on more pressure that way. But I'm just speculating. I don't know. So
yeah, I can see that.
Icons, it's like 1. It's like the second ledge grab, you have a little bit, and then you have to do something.
Yeah.
So
I like that too.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the way I think of it is, this way you keep your Melee ledge options, but you can't keep the stalling that exists in Melee and 3.02.
Yeah. I feel like losing invincibility but not having trumping would be like perfect. You know what I mean? Like I just that would be the perfect ledge system to me. But yeah.
I mean, I remember I got the 3DS demo for Smash 4 at that same video game club, actually, where I played PM, and I was playing against Villager, and I knocked them off stage, and then I went to grab the ledge, and then I was the one off stage.
Yeah.
And then you died.
And I was just like, what is this?
Huh.
I literally just, like, out loud was like, what just happened?
Like, oh, this is your stage now. Cool.
So it's always felt a little off to me how they did it.
Yeah,
That's why Flarp doesn't play Smash 4.
I was
That one
thinking
moment.
there was a
I actually like watching Smash 4 a lot. I'm like one of the only PM players I know who likes watching it.
No, I think a lot of people watch it. And I feel like a lot of
Like,
Smash
in
4 watches PM.
Massachusetts, at least.
Like, I think there's more overlap with spectating than we realize.
I watch it for Coney.
Aw, you're sweet.
Aw. Best MC.
It's true.
I try, man. I don't know. Some of those crowds are tough, but I do what I can. Thanks.
Well, let's get the cloud hype.
Poor Z-Fly, man. He's got to deal with SoCal. That's rough. Those people just sit on their hands.
Yeah, I actually love PM crowds so much. They're probably my favorite.
PM cards are hype. I can't wait for
Especially,
Smash Slash.
you know, New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Uh,
We get in trouble sometimes, but it's fun. Yeah, it's like Satoshi complained about Switch's friend, Pat, whose tag is Ken in Black. He's a really good Skullgirls player, kind of moved on to Marvel and DBZ, but it was funny because Pat has this really similar voice to Switch. So Ken in Black is like going off when I was playing Hyperflame at Super Smash Con. Satoshi goes to Switch and says like, hey man, you have to like really tone that down. That was really unprofessional and you affected the outcome of the match. And Switch had like no idea what he was talking about because it was the wrong
How dare
person.
you sit there?
Like he accepted, he's like, oh yeah man, I'm sorry. But it was totally not the same person.
Your friend is affecting the gameplay. You must leave.
But I mean it's true, right? There's a lot of heckling in Project M. Melee and Smash 4, we have these, $1,000 setups with headphones provided by the streamer that are noise canceling. You're up on a stage that's a good 10 yards away from the crowd. It's very different than PM.
Yeah.
PM, you hear everything they say.
there's like a guy standing right behind you from
Absolutely.
your opponent's region.
I still remember a set of mine where I hear the person behind me say, "Oh, he's dead." So I just roll up from the ledge, and then the fox recovers onto stage, and I'm like, "Damn it! Why'd I listen to the crowd?" Like it totally happens.
I actually did it to Emukiller before. At Guts 3, he was playing Pink Fresh, and I said something, and immediately after Pink Fresh died, and Emu turns around, and he just locks eyes. I'm like, I'm sorry, you got it. You
Nice
win.
job, Coney.
He just
You killed his
established
Smash
dominance.
He's dead now.
He destroyed him. I did it to June was playing MVD. I was like, MVD, June was at like 160. I was like, MVD, you gotta get off this stock. You gotta kill him. And then he just forward aired him with Mario and he died. He's like, okay. Like, okay.
He did it.
He did it. Good
job.
job. Yeah.
I missed the blast.
Oh, yeah, that was it. That's that shit. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, the trash talk element is I can't speak for 3. Where we're at now, but in 3.02 it was rampant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people do it because it does affect the outcome of the game. Like that's the real. It's honestly the reason.
Yeah.
There was just that issue at Frozen Phoenix 2018. It's a Canadian major PM tournament where they replayed the last game of a set because JK is in the crowd being like, oh, read that roll, he's gonna go left right there, and then that's what he did. And so they were like, you're getting outside help, so we
This
have
is
to
mid-game
replay it.
coaching.
That's a little different.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird. I didn't
It was
like that
sus.
decision.
No, yeah, JJK is totally scum. Like
Damn.
there's no
Shout out
way
to
around it,
JJK.
dude.
Shout out to my
Game
Ontario
Watch
brothers.
That's good.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference
Fast
between like
forward.
making jokes
Oh, yeah.
and like, coaching. So
Outright telling somebody stuff.
and it's nothing new. Like this has been an issue in Melee and Brawl. We've known about it for 10 years, and the answer is like no coaching from the crowd.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that I don't know. It's not really excusable anymore, even in Project M.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess fast forwarding a little bit to to what was it, December 2015, when it was officially announced that 3.6 was the final version. I think we can all answer, like, what was it like to be like, oh my god, PM's finally, like, is it dead? Is it completely gone? What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I remember, again with that video game club, that group of friends who were all playing PM, we were all hit like pretty hard. Like I told someone, they were like, no, get out of here. That's not
Get out of here, you. I would do the same thing. The way I know you now, I would just be like, you're joking me. You're joshing me, Flarp.
And there's like this one guy who's like the wiener of the group was like, I think we should have a moment of silence.
Was that not you?
It was not me.
I'm surprised.
But we all just were like, what? Even we know this is just like a video game. I don't know. But that was like pretty crazy. And I remember the next Smashing Grounds, there was an announcement because people were so unsure of what was going to happen. There is like, it's still going to happen. You know, tournaments are still going to go on. We're not going anywhere. All that.
Wow.
I remember when I saw the announcement, I was in APUSH, AP US History. It was the end of my first period, and I just saw on Twitter, I forget what it was. It was just like, fans, this has been a wonderful journey. Please read our last blog post. And I was just like, oh no, no, don't do it to me, because like, if you know me and what I do for the scene now, you'll know that there's a certain character that I was looking forward to for that at that time, but that didn't happen, sadly. And then I was just heartbroken for a while. I was just like, no. But I still stuck with it. So it didn't kill PM.
No.
Yeah, no. For me it might have been a little different. Like I was involved with the PMDT at the time, so I had this forum post saying, hey, CSOL development. We have this lawyer that's on our side, but we're gonna no longer be allowed to work on Project M. And so my initial reaction was like, Jesus, who doesn't know about this yet? So I like just get on Facebook and I tell Frozen, like, hey, get on Smash Mods, like, check out the post. And it was really emotional. Obviously the players and the fan base is invested, but you had a lot of the dev team who really put their heart into this. So it got really emotional in there, obviously. And it was like really sad because I don't want to say like recently, but Lunchables was probably a new addition to the dev team relative to how long it's been, how long it's existed. And he was so gung-ho about changes and improvements. Like Lunchables did a great job of incorporating changes into 3.6. I don't want to say it was like his brainchild, but I think a lot of the improvements to 3.6 came from Lunchables, and he had a lot more planned, both with stages and characters. So it was just this sort of like really, really rough for him, really rough for a lot of the people, even that are a little behind the scenes. Maybe they're just an artist or like real like programmer, but and not a player, but they still were devastated.
Yeah. I can tell you from my experience, I wasn't really emotional about it because I was sort of on my way out with PM anyway. Not because of the game or any issues with it, but I'm a little bit older than a lot of the Smash community, and I went into PM. My only expectation was like, all right, I gotta win one tournament. I don't care about anything else. My objective is to win one tournament. And I won this really big MDVA regional. I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I won a smaller regional. I was like, okay, I'm pretty much done with Project M. I like it. I still love it. I like to play it. But like, if I don't have that driving objective and that force behind me, I lose sight very quickly. And I was like 20, that was 4 years ago? I was 25, 26 at the time. I had a job. I was about to get married. I was like, all right, I can't devote as much time and energy to competing as, a lot of the younger kids, which is fine. I'll I'll do that one thing, I'll feel satisfied, and I'll go. But the 3.6 announcement was a huge deal to me because I lived with Gimmer, so I had all the inside talks that were going on, like from when he said that he couldn't stream it at Xanadu anymore and what was happening. Like, I knew all the stuff that was happening before anybody else did. So I saw the scene shift in that, before we had no eyes on us. We could stream PM, we could curse, we could do whatever we wanted. This was really kind of I don't know how to describe it. It's like the trumpet that signals the end of the world. It's like, all right, so PM's gone. The scene is about to change drastically, and it did. So for me, it was more interesting than it was, emotional, because I didn't have much emotional attachment to PM. It was my favorite Smash game to play, but I was pretty detached from it just because I was at a different stage of my life. But yeah, it was shocking at the time to hear that it was actually not really being forced out, and they were being really kind of coy and tight-lipped about it. But the writing was on the wall that something was going on.
I agree. Yeah, even I'm curious, Coney, what time was it that Gimmer couldn't stream Product M anymore?
Oh god, I have such a bad memory, so I honestly can't remember what the exact time was. I just know it was a few months, I think, before they made the announcement that 3.6 would be the last one. I think it was a few months before. If I'm not mistaken, I don't remember.
I think it was earlier than that. I remember like 2 or 3 months of 3.5 being streamed, and then I think beginning of 2015 they just shut everything down for PM.
Okay.
That's what I remember, but I might be wrong.
No, I think you're right. It was at least November of 3.5, which is funny I say the version, not the year. But November of 2014, at least, was still VG Bootcamp. But even at SKTAR in, June of 2014, right when they announced the Smash Invitational, where Zero and other players were playing Smash 4, I think this is at least like my vague memory, D1 was going to commentate top 8 at SKTAR, or he was going to do some amount of commentary for Project M at SKTAR, and then D1 was not able to do commentary because of the Invitational. Same thing with Peachy Hime. She wasn't supposed to enter any Project M tournaments despite being known in the community for Project M because of the Invitational.
Yeah.
So even back in June, as soon as there was a playable version of Smash 4, there was this involvement with Nintendo to limit PM's exposure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like I said, I don't remember timing at all, but I do remember Gimmer was really conflicted about it. I don't want to speak too much for him because, it's his business, but him, Apostle, and I had long talks where it's because he felt like he was giving up this scene and this grassroots community that he helped to build up for all these years, and PM felt like he stabbed them in the back at the same time because he was VGBC was the big outlet for PM events at that time, and it just I don't know, it was just ugly on all ends.
Yeah, and the whole free Gimmer thing with all the subs.
That was
built
bad.
on PM.
Yep.
And then months after, he just had to let them all go. It's not his fault for any means, but for all the blame he gets for it, he actually didn't he didn't want to kill it. At least he kind of had to.
Yeah, I mean, when you build your whole life around something like this and you own a business, you have to put those decisions first. I think the reason Chibo kept doing it is because it was always Chibo's kind of side gig. I don't want to speak for Chibo either, but I always got the impression that Clash was a side thing and Chibo, had his normal job. So he wasn't really indebted to outside influence, but, Gimmer and Apostle, they were trying to make VG into a thing, and to, be the premier streaming stuff for Smash, and you want to stay on Nintendo's good side for stuff like that. So, yeah, they kind of forced their hand.
Yeah, it's funny. I think back in maybe 2010, 2012, VG Bootcamp and Clash tournaments were much like closer in
Oh, it was neck
popularity.
and neck.
And then VG Bootcamp gets this Twitch partnership where they get front page exposure for their weeklies, and it like I don't know, it definitely skewed in VG Bootcamp's favor.
Yeah, I think actually Clash was ahead during the Brawl era because MDVA Brawl was kind of a joke, especially near the end. Like MDVA was like what's the best way? It was this land of we all had pretty good characters, but they were pretty good players, but they were just dumb characters. Like we had the best Luigi and the best Wolf and the best we had a really good Olimar. It's like what? And New York, New Jersey just had 80 excellent Meta Knights. Like like
and ICs and excellent ICs.
Yeah, and it was just a nightmare. So New York, New Jersey was the top level of play. So they were like Chibo had a lot more clout in that end. So Clash was actually way bigger than VG for a little while. VG came back up thanks to everything that you mentioned, like the PM stuff. That really
Melee,
helped them out. And Melee, yeah. They always had Melee, and with the resurgence of Melee after the Evo thing, they really rode that wave. So
Okay, so I don't want to end it all sad, like PM. So I'm gonna go to right now in 3.6, where PM is. I'd say it's in a pretty good spot compared to where it's been, throughout its history. And just the last question is what do you think of PM right now in its current state? And I'll say I love PM right now. It's absolutely my favorite Smash game, one of my favorite games to play in general. And going to tournaments is probably the most fun I ever have. Just, in general. So I think it's, it's great. I want to see it keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny you say that because I'm sure everyone that plays against you has a horrible experience. So,
Hard agree.
yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of
Hard
funny
agree. I'm
how
in his
selfish
region.
you are.
It's not fun.
Yeah, you
Please,
are just you
Can
would.
we ban
You're
Flarp?
the one who plays Sonic.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I played Sonic back when he was 24th on the tier list. I didn't know this was gonna happen.
Wow.
Oh, I'm playing a mid tier, so I don't know what
I was playing a mid tier too, and then he became top 5 out of nowhere. It's not my fault.
So well, maybe I shoot more fireballs than your average guy.
That's true.
I'm-
Yeah.
There's no problem with that.
But so as far as how do I feel about 3.6 and the community and the game in general, I think it's the best version of PM so far. I think I really enjoy the direction that the dev team went. I think it's much better than any of the previous versions, and it's definitely shows that we're still able to play it, 3 years later without many issues in terms of balance.
Yeah, I mean, if we were left on something like 3.02 or earlier versions, then I think PM might be dead, or at least a lot more dead than it is. Well, it's not dead right now, but it would be a lot worse of a situation than it is now.
Yeah,
Because
I think every Smash game has these issues, and which game you play is just based on which issues are you comfortable with dealing with.
yeah.
Like that's every fighting game. It's
agree
not
with that.
limited. Don't limit it to Smash. But every game has these issues that if you focus too much on, you're gonna say, God, why would anyone enjoy that game? It's just I would never want to have to play versus 80% foxes and wobbling, or I don't want to have to deal with Meta Knight ledge stalling, and I don't want to have to deal with CC detail in Product M. But the answer is the community is able to overlook those things for the good parts about the game, and so I think that's a really strong point for Product M. That the things that we complain about, at least as a top player, ledge dashing, invincibility frames on a lot of the cast, CC detail, safe options, like how safe all options are on block, or on, and yeah, that your best punish option is usually not to block the move, but to crouch cancel it. But again, it's I can overlook those things because I really enjoy the game. And I think that as far as the community goes, we have a pretty good set of nationals that have shown to be really enjoyable and are going to grow. And it's not this forced circuit thing where it's oh, you should go out to Nebraska because it's worth points. It's like, no, nobody wants to go out to Nebraska. We want to go to Smash and Splash for an awesome water park. We want to go to LTC for an awesome convention and arcade, and we want to go to Bigger Balk for Cali. Like, there's a lot of really good PM nationals that exist because they're just good tournaments, and those majors are gonna stay healthy. So I don't see any signs of an issue where we're gonna be short of tournaments to look forward to and tournaments for people to practice for. Like, that's the big drive is, why do we keep playing Product M? And the answer is because there's a reason to get better. If ever there was no longer a reason to get better, then the game would die like Brawl. You have like player 1 or someone who's just getting way good at Brawl, but it doesn't matter because the only time he gets to show his skill is Super Smash Con. But with PM, there's enough nationals that if you want, you can be driven to improve. So I think the community is doing well. Maybe locals are struggling, but nationals are doing great. And it's a small enough community that you get to consistently see your friends. It's not like Melee or Smash 4 where it's so big that it's like, hey, which $10,000 pop bonus tournament are you going to this weekend? It's like, oh, I'm flying out to Mexico. What about you? It's like, oh, sorry, I'm going to be in Canada. Like, PM doesn't have that issue.
Yeah.
PM,
Oh, sorry, I'm in Iceland this weekend. Can't take your message.
Yeah. PM, it's, we have our nationals, and we all go to them, and you get to see your friends consistently, which is really nice.
Yeah. It really feels pure in its essence now, and maybe it was cleansed by this whole, the debacle and the crap that it had to go through, but it's interesting that you bring up the characters and stuff, because I remember watching, I don't know if it's Smash and Splash 3 or 2, like I said, I'm awful with memory, but I remember seeing a lot of Game & Watches, and I was like, alright, pack it, that's it, like,
Smash and
it's
Splash
okay,
2, yeah.
it's over, like, PM's gonna die, because this character's gonna, but no, players adapted, they got used to him, and they figured it out, and it's really fascinating from an outside perspective, seeing how, I'm super detached from the scene, but I see how Thunders has come up. I see how Sosa has basically come out of nowhere with my old character and just destroyed everybody, which is super interesting. It's really cool to see the scene shape, kind of reform and evolve in ways that are independent of having any kind of outside influence, like pop bonuses or worrying about viewership or anything like that. It's the essence and the grassroots feel is still totally pure. I can't speak on 3.6 that much, honestly, because I haven't played really much of it at all. I'm still getting surprised by stuff. I didn't know Ice Climbers were a character now.
Yeah, they're pretty good now.
I had no idea. I played one of them in doubles this weekend and got bonked. It was disgusting.
Did you play Tech Boy?
I think it was Tech Boy. It was somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's like number 8 in the world.
I was like, he's in doubles. Good. I'll be fine. And it wasn't fine. And I teamed with Hat, and we were both like, because Hat and I used to win all the PM doubles tournaments around here in locals. It was easy. I was like, all right, let's team again. Let's see how it goes. And I think we got like 9th. So it was like out of 12. So it was not. No, we got 7th out of 12. So it was not good. But yeah, the game has changed and evolved into such a way that like it's really fascinating and interesting to see from the outside looking in. I keep a very lazy eye on it, where I'll tune back in every once in a while, see how people are doing, especially my friends. But I'm always it's really cool to me to see how the scene keeps pushing on and progressing in spite of they don't care about a lot of the things that I think that have, I don't want to say corrupted the Smash 4 community, but there's very much a drive for notoriety and fame, and like there's this want to be known, and it's very easy to be quote unquote famous in the Smash community because it's so small and it's pretty insular, and if you're just good enough with a character, you can usually get a recognition. So it's really cool to see people that just play the game because they love the game and not because they think that they'll get some kind of Nintendo attention, and not begging for, for spots at invitationals and stuff like that. It feels like people are genuinely doing it for the love of the game, which is, like I said, there was a big dramatic scene shift from Brawl to Smash 4. But I feel like PM has retained a bit of that essence, which is really cool.
Yeah, we just have like a bunch of small communities, like character discords and regions, just either grinding out their character or just improving with like the few members of their scene that they have around, and just improving just to improve.
Yeah.
It's funny that you brought up that Smash and Splash like Game & Watch. How there's like a lot of Game & Watches in top 8 there.
Yeah.
The Mr. L's Marshall set, I think it was Losers Finals,
Oh, God.
is one of my favorites because it's like, okay, both of these Game & Watches got very far in bracket. One of them just happened to beat Junebug and is not very good. The other is Mr. L's, who's very good. And Mr. L's just completely shat on Marshall. And it was like, yes, like we're showing that like there is a skill gap here. That Mr. L's is someone who's like genuinely fundamentally good, and like Marshall had the lucky bracket. He had a lucky bracket. So
yeah, I didn't know enough about it at that time, so I didn't know the difference. I just, they were doing the same stuff to me from an outside perspective. It was just combo into the up B into the nair. Like, okay,
Man,
there you go. Like,
watch Losers Finals again. That was so awesome because it's just the skill gap was huge. There's no other way to put it.
I swear I watch Smash Splash 2 commentary like every month now.
really?
It's so good.
See,
and Smash Splash 3 and 1.
So I'm on the fence, and I've talked to Pooch about this. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year because, like, okay, so Pooch and I have been shit posting Smash and Splash PM commentary for the past few years. And the first year was great because I knew everything about the game. I was deeply entrenched in it. I was a competitor, so it was great. Second year, no, a little bit less, but I still kind of followed it. Last year, I was totally blind going into it. And I think, like, if somebody's going to complain about the shitpost commentary during this one tournament a year, like, fuck them. I don't care. Whatever. You know, it's like, this is the one tournament where we get to do that. But if I can't bring anything to the table in terms of informative commentary, and it's literally just cracking jokes, I don't know if I want to be doing it, because I feel like PM deserves better than that now. Aww. You know what I mean? With the fact that it's like been alive and it's been thriving and it has all these entrants, I don't like. It's not a joke anymore. Does that make sense? It doesn't feel right to do. So I'm kind of on the fence. We're talking about it. I'm talking about it with Pooch. Maybe him, me, and Lunchables for like a try thing, because Lunchables definitely, like, he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure something out. But it's very nice of you to say that those blocks are really fun every time.
Yeah, but if you don't want to do top 8, at least do like top 16 or another block or something, because there's a lot of people out there that still love your commentary and love to hear it and on PM and not have to watch Smash 4 to hear it.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll do a block. I appreciate that. I hate it when like I go and do a top 8 set and like I'm totally surprised by stuff and like I can't give informative insight as to what's actually going on. Like it hurts enough to be bad at the game I'm commentating for me, and now I'm just not good at 3.6. And like not only am I bad, I don't know what's happening, or I don't know the players and the storylines. So it's like, it sucks. So, but I
think having someone from a different community is really fun though. Like I would say if like D1 or TK or EE could do it, then sure. But you're the one that's able to like commentate Product M and bring that professional flair or that like skilled commentary that I think our PM community kind of lacks. Like our best PM commentators, it's like Apollo, Reslived, Messi. There's definitely a skill gap in casting between PMs, casters, and the Smash 4, the Melee casters. So having someone that at least has some kind of radio skills, even if they don't know anything about the game, like you said, it's one tournament a year. It's fun just to have someone be like, "What the fuck was that shit? You guys play this game? Are you dumb?" Like, so it's fun. Like even though you're self-conscious about the lack of game knowledge, I don't think people expect you to have game knowledge. At least maybe I'm just like more rational about it than the internet. But yeah, like
no, I feel you, and I appreciate it. It's not. Like I said, if people are just trashing the commentary, I don't care about that. It's just, I feel like the way that the scene has thrived and continued to be there, I feel like it deserves something, better. But I'm talking it out with Pooch. He's swaying me. I'll probably be on it this year, just to let you guys know. But I guess the reason that I bring it up is because I never thought that PM would continue on like this. Like, I thought at 2 or 3, I'd make jokes about the dead game, blah, 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 and maybe it would take its last breath. And not from, like, a spiteful perspective, like I wanted to see it die, but I was looking at it from the outside in, and I was like, it's hurting. And I was also blinded by a lot of the things, like I said, issues that plague Smash 4, where it's like, vision is everything. Followers are everything. Like, being on, having a huge viewer base, like, you need that, which isn't necessarily true. And I think PM has done an awesome job of showing that you can have this smaller but still diehard community of people that just do it for the love of the game. And I think that's something really special, like I said, in the age of, where everything needs to be seen.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I think a lot of the PM community thought it would die as well. Mm-hmm. At least Olympus and that circuit that occurred did feel
I remember that, yeah.
It felt like this big bang. Like, all right, let's go out with a bang. Let's get one, like, professional circuit event for 3.6, and then, it's been 2 years, the game's gonna feel stale or something, who knows. And then, like, a DK wins the entire thing with really flashy play. And it's like, all right, clearly we don't know enough about this game yet. And I think a lot of people had a great time at that event, that it really spurred on national growth. That, like, our growth in going to nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going for, like, a little over an hour. I think we can wrap it up now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any final thoughts, I guess? 3.02 PM now.
PM's neat.
PM is neat. It's a fun game.
PM's great. Strong Bad, you're a son of a bitch for changing my bite angles. I'll never forgive you for that.
They're still good.
I know they're still good. Everybody tells me they're still good, but they're different. And when bite is 80% of your play, you can't go back. You can't.
Dude, you're being conservative, 80. What's your other move, side B?
That's so I wanted to talk about this. It didn't come up in the question. So it said when Emu beat me at 3 different sets at Guts 3. Okay, so at Guts 3 in the car, I'm like, there are 2 people I don't want to fight. Emu and Frozen, because I had no idea what to do against Mewtwo. All I knew is that I can't bite him, because he always has Nair out.
Because he has a sword.
Yep, and who do I fight? Emukiller. And I got stomped. It was just nasty. I beat Frozen in doubles, so that felt kind of good, and then we lost in singles. But yeah, I remember Mewtwo I was like, what do I do against this character? I can't bite him, so I can't win. That was it. That was my thought process. It was bad.
Yeah, he's still kind of silly, but not nearly as bad as he was.
Yeah. He's just it was a very different beast back then.
Yeah, I guess my final thoughts. More Melee TOs need to stop being bitches and caring about esports and actually host PM. Like, there's no reason that you can have 30 modded Wiis and running Melee off a USB drive with UCF, and then you don't feel like hosting PM side events. Like, sorry, you should be doing more to invite the communities together. Like, I just don't understand. It's like, either you care a lot about esports, or who knows. But you already have the CRTs, you already have the Wiis. Just host PM events, please.
Yeah.
Bars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was. All right.
That was good.
Thank you.
All right.
And other thoughts, I guess, is a shout out to everyone that keeps playing the game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
And I guess my one thing that I want to say is, like, I know from an outside perspective, for a lot of people, it can feel like a lot of the more prominent Smash 4 people, like D1, TKEE, people that were voices of Project M, Gimmer even, like people that were mainstays in the community have kind of left it behind. But I can promise you guys, it has nothing to do with not liking the game. I think pretty much all of them would be so happy, like, to just jump back into it. And again, I don't want to totally speak for them, but, like, from us talking and, the stuff that goes, like, us talking behind closed doors, like, everybody still loves the game, and they love what it represents. And I think just the whole thing, and the fact that like everybody's hand was forced to, okay, you've been working 8 years to make Smash your career. Now you got to pivot right super hard because, you know, the thing that you love is getting taken away from you. It messed a lot of people up. And I can tell you from talking to these guys, like it sucked for them. So I don't want anybody to ever feel like they were, you know, left behind or abandoned as a community. And I feel like PM's past that, but I just wanted to kind of say that, like,
make sure people know. Like,
yeah, because like nobody ever talks about it, but for real, like Project M holds a very special heart in a very special place in a lot of people's hearts. And the fact that it only continues to grow, and, you know, continue to evolve and thrive is like, that's really heartening for a lot of people.
yeah. No, D1's Twitch channel was where Nebulous streamed Project M back in early 2014.
Yeah.
Like, he was the streamer and commentator for Project M. And yeah, obviously he really enjoyed the game and did a lot of effort to creating media for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's at least like from someone who's, I guess, like from my perspective, I've been around and like I know these things, that they appreciate the game, and it was because of professional decisions that they have to switch gears. But yeah, it's something that I forget that newer players or people not as involved might not realize it.
Yeah, I think it's like you've been in the scene and you knew these people as people before they were like D1. You know. Well, I was gonna say
before they were verified on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Like you knew TK as Terrence. You knew D1. I keep saying that, but his name is actually D1. But it's like you knew these guys as people, but a lot of these people just know them as figures, and they don't see the human side of it. So they might think that, you know, there's something more insidious or sinister going, like the Illuminati stuff. There's not Illuminati. It's just people are trying to make do, man. I promise.
There's a back room, though.
Guilt
There is a back room. There is a back room where people just play Mafia and do nothing else. That's it. Like,
All right. I think that's about everything. Thanks, Coney and Evo.
Absolutely.
I think this was a really, really good episode.
Yeah.
Aw,
I enjoyed this.
thanks for having us.
Great.
yeah.
Uh,
It's good talking to you,
thanks
Coney.
for watching.
Yeah, you too, man. You're gonna be at Smash the Splash?
Hell no.
I'll be there.
Dead game. Dude, Coney, I don't know if you
Kiss
know
on
this,
the
but
forehead.
the first time we played was Apex 2010 Brawl Minus.
What? We played there?
Yeah, man. Friendlies, not tournament, friendlies.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I remember all my tournament people. Who did you play in Brawl Minus?
I played Pikachu and Captain Falcon.
Did you slap me up?
Yep.
Okay, you're playing Pikachu.
Nice.
That shouldn't have even asked that question. Like, it was, of course you were. Like, I remember playing. So I was the king of MDVA Brawl Minus. Like, I destroyed everybody, and then I played Zuko, and it wasn't close. It just,
Oh my god, yeah.
I was
He
like, what
Wolf,
do I
right?
do? Where do I go? And I was learning. I had to SDI everything, but I
Was
didn't
Zuko
know the right
Wolf?
angles. Yeah, he was Wolf, and I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
couldn't play the game. I was Luigi, and I was slapping up all of MDVA with that dumb character, and I was like, oh wait, I can't do anything about these characters. So yeah, that was an experience back then. I don't remember us playing then. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's something where, like, I was a total, like, pot filler, like, I don't know what you'd call it. I was not very active.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I was definitely just a local. So I didn't even pay for Apex. I just went to Rutgers and snuck in the back door and then entered Brawl Minus because it was same day registration.
That sounds like
So-
Apex.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like
Shout out
GM
to
just
Brawl
comes
Minus.
up to me, he's like, yo, you should enter Brawl Minus. And I was like, oh, alright, sure. I didn't pay for a spectator thing or anything. I
Man,
was just
everybody
there.
in
Nice.
Juice was trash talking me in Brawl Minus. I slapped up Max Ketchum. It was not close. He was up 4 stocks to 1, and I beat him. And he was like, I still think DM's Luigi was better. Fuck out of here. You got slapped up. I'm not trying to hear it.
This is off,
Welcome to the
off the
Brawl Minus
record.
podcast.
Off the record, fuck Doom.
DM and I were trash talking each other so much before that tournament, and then we both got 5th. It was like, okay, so this proves nothing. We didn't fight each other either. I think both of us lost to Nairo. So it was like, oh, okay.
Oh my god, Nairo was so good.
He destroyed everybody. Yeah.
Oh my god, I got fucked up. Dude, I got so fucked. I was like there and I was like, you have to play Nairo next. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm gonna body him. And like I get this look and I'd say, he's not even old enough to like girls yet. And Nairo agrees. He's like, yeah.
Girls still
He
have
was like
cooties.
13.
He was a baby.
Oh my, yeah. God, he was so young.
And now look at him. Oh,
Yeah, now he's making
Possibly best
making
Smash
like
Bros.
twice
player.
as much money as I am.
he just bought a house, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a king. All
My roommate actually
that's way
went
off
to
track,
it.
Sorry.
Yeah, my roommate.
Welcome to the Brawl Minus podcast.
Yeah.
I almost got to go to the Nairo house
Oh,
when
really?
when Infinite came out. It was like my roommate is good friends with K Sizzle, so it's like, hey, do you want to go and play like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? And I'm like, nah, not really. But yeah, it's like 30 minutes away from me.
That's awesome. Okay.
Okay, so really gonna wrap
Okay,
it up.
yeah.
For real.
Oh god, I thought this was
You-
I thought this was post wrapped up.
Sorry to derail.
No, that's great.
That's perfect.
Thanks everyone for watching. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.